All right. We're coming up on the last question. Again, my reminder to the chat and everyone watching, submit your own question, and that will be the one that we will answer after this one in conclusion of the show. So let's go ahead and get to our fifth question today. What is better to buy on market or off market deals? And let's go ahead and start with Chris Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm still going to say off market, just less competition. I think, I got started in the business in 2008. I remember a vivid time, 2009, really mostly 2010 to 2012, where if I wanted to buy 5 houses literally today, I could call my realtor and she could get me 5 really good quality on market deals that same day. I don't think we're there yet. I think that's we're potentially may end up there again. But right now, today, to answer that, I'm going to 110% go off market. You're competing against less people. You have more control of the negotiation. There's no middle person in terms of the trusted third-party realtor that people are looking for to an opinion of value. So I'm going to always want to chase off-market direct to seller. Again, I think there will be a time potentially in the future where or on-market will again make sense. It did at one point, but I don't think that's today.
Okay. Let's go to Eric Brewer.
I think a deal is a deal. Who cares where it comes from? If I can buy an on-market deal, my cost of contract is $0 versus an off-market deal where my cost of contract is $5,000. My net on that $20,000 deal is 20, not 15. So I think it's an oxymoron. A deal is a deal. I don't care if I get it on market or off market. I will say there might be just as much competition on off-market deals as there is for on-market deals. We just don't necessarily know about it. So with that being said, off market, there's a greater opportunity to buy in volume based on today's market conditions. But like Chris, I was in the market back in 2008, 9, and 10, where you literally could go on the HUD's website and just make offers and buy 5 to 6 properties a week. And it was all about just knowing the construction and who your end buyer was. No negotiating. You didn't have to be a great marketer. You literally just had to know how to estimate ARV in construction.
All right. Go ahead and take it to Steve Trang for your opinion.
So obviously, we've been preaching off market for the longest time, but we're starting to see the sellers become pretty realistic. So I have the good fortune of working with someone that works with the funds that's still actively buying here. And the comment is the realtor community these days is are ones that got licensed during COVID, and the negotiation skills are as good as toilet paper. And so they're getting some pretty good pricing right now. And so I'm actually taking a page out of Eric's book from back in the day of lining up with, Audantic and MLS and seeing what options are available. So I actually have a call with Eli Fisher tomorrow morning to kind of figure out how we can systemize this. So I think that we're going to start looking at pursuing on-market deals to see what we can do with that. So right now we're putting efforts towards on-market deals. And I think kind of with Eric, there's just as much competition off-market and on-market.
Shout out Audantic.
There we go. All right. And Leon Barnes, go ahead with your thoughts.
The bigger pool, Eric said it, the bigger pool of opportunity is off-market, of course. But I can remember 8 years ago where things are cyclical in this industry. I can remember half of the inventory that we put under contract and took down were from the MLS. And things are cyclical in this business. And the best investors, the best leaders are always going where others aren't. I remember when everyone had to go cold call and everyone had to go and text. Well, when people went to texting and cold calling only, the best people shifted and said, I'm going to continue to do direct mail because everyone else has left a lot more of my competition. There are opportunities today on the MLS that did not exist just last year. I haven't purchased in 2 years inventory on the MLS, but I can tell you now that the amount of call volume that's coming from listed properties has doubled in the last month.
All right, gentlemen, the floor is open.
I got a question. If an off-market seller calls you to get an offer, isn't it on market? The property's for sale.
I think you're being semantics here. We're talking about MLS deals.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you didn't say MLS. You said on market. If I'm calling 5 people to tell them I want to sell my house, my house is on the market.
For sophisticated investors, on market means on the MLS.
I don't think the guy. I don't think Leon CPA who wants to buy an investment property is licking stamps and envelopes and sending out direct mail to get off market properties, right? I don't think they're one and the same the way you guys are saying. They're distinctly different, right? There's different buyers on MLS that have no idea what wholesaling even is, right? So it's two different things. I do remember the days, to Eric's point, the HUD Home Store. We used to go crazy buying houses on there every week, auction.com. I think a lot of those things are definitely going to be coming back here in the near future. Those would be for sure considered on market. But, again, for me, man, I think there's less competition, maybe a more sophisticated competition off market, but you can cover a lot of ground off market with good systems, good processes. And unlike Leon, the best of the best are cold calling, texting, and sending voicemails. And, maybe every once in a while licking stamps and whatnot too. But, that's my thought on that.
I think you might be a little biased.
Yeah, just a little bit. I didn't say cold calling and texting didn't work. I said go where others aren't, and a lot more went to that route. And they're doing tons of deals from it. You should be doing all is the right answer, Chris.
Yeah,
for sure.
All of the above.
All right. So it looks like the voting is getting ready to close up here. And there's some last second movement. This one's going to be really interesting when it closes out.
Well, let's just keep the voting open until Chris is in second.
I like that strategy.
All right. It looks like it's actually in a tie right now. So we do have the voting open. It looks all right. Let's go ahead and read a comment really quickly while that closes out. Walter Lotero said on market property MLS deals that have been on market 60 days plus. It's a property that could be negotiated.
100%. Here's the thing that I think we're not giving enough credit to. What we're not giving enough credit to is if you look, let's say in Phoenix, right? If in a normal month, Steve, how many properties sell?
8 to 10,000.
Out of those 8 to 10,000, how many of those are off market?
No, those are all the MLS deals. That's not the total sold volume.
So how many would you say sell off market compared to the 10,000 on market?
I don't know, maybe like less than 1,000 for sure. Hundreds, and it's in the hundreds.
It's a fraction. It's again, like we're fighting over what someone puts their house on the market. We're assuming that they want top dollar. The reality is that's not the case. I bought tons of non-bank owned properties in 2008, 9, and 10 from sellers that had limited options from buyers because people didn't have to buy a fixer upper. They didn't want to buy a house that needed paint and carpet because they could go buy a fully renovated house for 50 grand more and only change their payment by $150 a month. On market is grossly underestimated as far as the opportunity. That's just my point. There's 10,000 properties that sell on market in Phoenix and 1,000 that sell off market. You can get 10% of the big pool and it's double getting 20% of the little one.
Okay. All right. So the voting did end in a tie. So that means that the decision is in my hands. And I got to go ahead and give it to Eric Brewer because I owe you one, pal, from a couple weeks ago when I hit you with the buzzer beater. So buzzer beater,
my
Brewer
man
is on the board.
Weasel.
And I did back channel Weasel, and I just want to say what I said to him. I said, listen, I see that we're in a tie. I believe Eric Brewer to be the best multitasker that I've ever interacted with. Let me go ahead and just concede the point to him. All right. I think he gave a great thought. So, Eric, congratulations on that round, man. I think you earned it. All right.
Thank you. He just you made all day.
Chris just said he gave it to you. Is basically what he said there.
He just conceded, like that the election when they politely bow out. That was his concession speech.